Business partners. It's always an interesting conversation. It's an interesting topic. Couple of things to consider when you're looking at going into business with a business partner or partners is, number one, and I've done this multiple times, right? And honestly, I've done it long enough. I would like to be able to tell you and everybody that, hey, listen, I got it all right, and look at me. No, not at all. I've made more mistakes in this area than I can even imagine, and they're my mistakes. They're not necessarily the mistakes of the business partners that I was working with or partnered with, right? For all intents and purposes, all the people that I've worked with that have been business partners, whether it's worked or it hasn't worked, and especially in those times when it hasn't worked, it's not that these people are scoundrels or that they, were bad people or whatever. It really came down to me. And what I mean by that is that at some guttural level, at some intrinsic level, I knew that I probably shouldn't partner with these people, but the pull of riches, the allure of maybe a quick win, not a cheap win. And what I mean by that is like performing a service or offering a product that wasn't good, or it didn't fulfill any needs. I'm not talking about that, but I'm like a quick, hey, we can do this quickly. We can get in and get out. Well, in business that does happen for sure. But in my experience, it takes time. And business always makes you pay more than you ever thought you were going to pay. And it keeps you longer than you ever thought you wanted to be kept. And I use that metaphorically that it takes time. It takes time to build a winning product, to build a winning service. And if you have partners where you may not be, to use kind of a biblical term, but evenly yoked, right? Where, have the picture of like two oxen, plowing a field, and they got that, that neck gear on pulling the plow. If one of the oxen is way stronger or way weaker than the other one, it's going to be a real interesting day, right, out in the field, because they're just not evenly yoked. They're not pulling at the same speed, and it's going to be really difficult. And so, long story short, is if you're considering going into partnership, give it real sober consideration, because I can share with you just recently where, I have made, some decisions from a partnership level that, one in particular cost me a year of my life. And I don't mean that, I didn't have a year of my life, but I mean, it was a opportunity to focus on a software related product. And the gentleman who created it is a very nice guy. But, in terms of where he was at with his business and the development of this particular piece of software and things like that, fast forwarding a year from the point where we, took on the project, this person's life completely changed in terms of financially. Things didn't come in the way that we thought they were going to come in. The development of the product was immensely more difficult than expected. In addition, selling the product, finding the right marketing, or rather, the right marketing, but also the right place in the market for it, it still hasn't materialized. And so all of that puts wear and tear on the individuals. It causes people to do things, say things, act in ways in which that, sometimes aren't becoming of them or of you or whatnot. And so the reason I share that is that choose very soberly who you partner with, because the reality is that partnership on some level has a strong chance of dissolving. And I don't even necessarily mean that in the negative sense. I just mean that, because it could be amicable that you part ways, which is fine. But that you're going to be linked to this person or persons in much more intimate ways than you ever thought. And so, if you're out there considering partnering with someone, soberly consider it, because it can have immensely positive effects on your life, and it can have immensely detrimental effects in areas of your life, just even more far-reaching than just in business. So that being said, as they say, choose your friends wisely, choose your partners wisely. And my take on it, and take it for what it is, a grain of sand, is that I'm not anti-partnerships, but I definitely am, unless this partner brings to the table time you don't have, resources you don't have access to, whether it's money, people, talent, know-how, right? And also too, that they don't balance you. They're not adding to the equation, but it would be like just bringing in another person like yourself. I would strongly cause you to sit and think and really reflect, do I need to be in partnership with this person, or can I literally spearhead this myself and then gather the resources, whether it be people, the understanding, the know-how, the talent, the monies, and so that there can be one point of decision, i.e. you, that can move the project forward, the product, the service, what have you, and so that you're in full control. Because the alternative is a partnership's really just like a marriage. If it doesn't go well, man, oh man, they tend to end poorly. So that being said, I hope this finds you well. Talk to you soon.